welcome back to my video. I hope you're all well and enjoying your Easter weekend, whatever you may be up to, and not getting too tempted by all of the chocolate that is going to be everywhere. So this video is a very healthy one, lots of lovely delicious food for you to try, completely new recipes, breakfast, lunch and dinner, keeping it whole food, plant-based, obviously vegan, oil-free and obviously compliant with the Starch Solution as well. I really hope you enjoy the video. Give it a like if you do, it really helps so much. And if you'd like to leave any comments, I reply to all of them. And if you do enjoy my content, a subscribe would be fantastic. I will see you guys later. Enjoy your holidays. So I made a Starch Solution cooked breakfast. This was nice and simple to do. I've always got some steamed potatoes in my fridge, so I just began with chopping these up into little tiny pieces, little bite-sized chunks, so that they would crisp up nice and quickly in the oven. So I'd say I did, two medium-sized potatoes, and that was just perfect, the perfect amount for one person. Made sure that they were nicely separated out on the silicone mat. There's links to these mats in the description if you're interested. So when they're all spaced out, they're going to crisp up even easier. I added some mixed herbs and some smoked paprika and put that into the oven at around 200 degrees. And then I took a couple of tomatoes, well, 1.5, because I had half left over from yesterday, and I took the cores out of those and I started to prep some mushrooms as well. Again, just chopping them up really roughly into bite-sized chunks, really. So after the potatoes have been in the oven for about 10 minutes on quite a high heat, then they're starting to get nice and crispy. So this is when I added on my tomatoes onto the same tray and put that back into the oven. Started cooking the mushrooms. Very simply, just put them on a medium to high heat and put a little bit of water in there just to get them started. Obviously they do release quite a lot of liquid anyway. And just cook those for 5-10 minutes, I'd say. And then it was time to serve up. So it was a really easy meal to make, especially if you've got your starches ready to go, you've got your potatoes cooked in the fridge. And I just served this up with a big glass of water, had a coffee, and that was a really nice breakfast. Optional tomato ketchup. And for lunch today, I made these savory pancakes. So good. You've got to try these. So I took some courgette, some zucchini, and grated that, and also grated up some carrot as well. I took some spring onions. I think they're just called green onions in America. You have to let me know in the comments what these things are called over there or where you live, but we call these spring onions. So I chopped up a couple of those. I added oats to my NutriBullet to make some oat flour. And then into a mixing bowl, I had a tablespoon of corn flour, 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes, some crushed black pepper, a good pinch of salt, and I added in the carrot, the zucchini, courgette, and the onions as well. All of the quantities are in the description down below. Added in some fresh water and just began to give that a really good mix, combining all of those ingredients so that the flavours are all mixed throughout. And the kind of consistency you're going for looks like this. So it's quite wet, but there isn't liquid in there. And then this was on a medium heat pan, so you want to cook these a bit longer than maybe a normal pancake. So medium heat rather than medium high. And just literally spread them out into the pan, which was preheated. And then I just kept an eye on them. I kept flipping them and I cooked them for about 20 minutes. And I probably flipped them maybe 3 or 4 times just so that it was really cooked evenly, and it gave them a chance to go crispy and golden on both sides and gave the vegetables time to cook. Then it was time to serve. So then I served them, and as you can see, they're nice and golden now and crispy on the outside. And so I just served these with some rocket, which is arugula. I think you say in America, and some grated carrot, and some extra spring onions. I chopped up another 2 of these green onions, and I added some balsamic vinegar. I love this Odysseus balsamic vinegar. It's just delicious. And that was lunch. That was fantastic. Really, really good. And for dinner, I made a veggie medley curry. So into a large pan, I cooked a big white onion, or 2 medium onions, and again using water to saute. Then I added 1 green leek, and I added some cubed butternut squash and sweet potato. I added 3 tablespoons of a medium curry powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a whole head of cauliflower. Kept giving this a mix so that the curry powder could really coat the vegetables, and then I covered it to let it kind of steam for a little while. If you need to add a bit of water just to really get that steam going, then that's cool. I added in 3 tablespoons of tomato puree and gave that another mix. This had been cooking for about 10-15 minutes by now, so I just kept it covered, cooked it for around another 10 minutes. And when the vegetables are really starting to soften up, I added in some mushrooms as well. Obviously, these don't take as long to cook. Then I added in passata and a tin of chopped tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, a tablespoon of soy sauce, and really combined that over again. Really get those flavours mingling, and covered it. And then I cooked it again for probably about another 20 to 30 minutes. You don't want your vegetables too overcooked. And as you can see, it's really starting to come together and the vegetables are nice and soft. And then right at the end, I just added chickpeas. I like to have my chickpeas quite al dente. If you want to cook yours more thoroughly for digestion reasons, then you can add these right at the beginning, literally right with the onions, and so that they have the longest time to cook in your meal. That will definitely help with the digestion, and make sure you rinse them really well. So then I mixed that again, and I added in a tablespoon of lemon juice to kind of lift it and give it some freshness, and also it does help with absorption of minerals and vitamins. So I added some brown rice, which I'd cooked in the pressure cooker, and served this up. And this was fantastic. And this did us for 2 nights. So there's 2 of us at home. So that made 4 portions, and that was brilliant. No cooking the next day. Hope you enjoy the video. Please consider subscribing if you have recently found me. Thanks so much. Bye.